Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your girl, Miss Ish, and today I'm going to be preparing a seafood boil. I'm going to show you all the ingredients I'm going to use. Now, you know, as always, you're able to tweak those ingredients. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you notice, I have all my ingredients out. And for my seafood boil, I'm going to be using lobster tails. I have these jumbo wild shrimp that I've also started to clean and devein. I also have some chicken horseshoe sausage. Now, you know you're always able to use whatever sausage or seafood that you want. This is just my choice of preference. I have some red potatoes, corn niblets, red and green bell pepper, green onion, a lime. I also have these mussels that are in this butter and garlic sauce. I like this one in particular because it's going to actually bring out a little more flavor with the other seafood. I also have my amazing Malibu seasoning that I use for everything. Black pepper, this Zatarain liquid shrimp smoke sauce that I'm going to use, and then a little bit of the minced garlic. So now I'm going to go ahead and continue to get these shrimps cleaned, deveined. I'm going to do the same with the lobster tails. And now with the sausage, I'm going to go ahead and get those chopped up into small chunks, clean and peel the potatoes and cut them as well with the corn. And then we'll be back once everything is together and ready to go into the copper chef. All right, everybody, now that I have everything cut up, I am ready to start putting the onions and the sausage into the skillet. Now, if you notice, this is the mussels. The liquid in here is all liquid garlic and butter sauce. So I'm going to use this a little later. The first thing we're going to do is get the onions, the bell peppers, and the sausage inside the skillet. Well, I'm going to actually be using the Copper Chef today and just see how that works. So give my own little personal review on it as I go, okay? So let's get started. All right, so if you notice, I have the onions in here already. Just letting them sweat a little bit and a little bit of olive oil. Now I'm going to go ahead with the bell peppers. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the sausages in now. You don't have to fry them before you put them in. Most seafood boils, they just put everything into the liquid. I just like to do it a little different, okay? So now if you notice, I have pretty much the first main 3 ingredients. And like I said, I'm just trying the Copper Chef out today to see how good it works. See if it actually can hold everything that the TV say it can, okay? So I'm just going to let this sit here and sweat out a little more. Then we're going to add the potatoes. Now, I'm not going to let these actually get brown. I just want them just to get a little sear to them, and then let all these flavors start kicking in before we add any of the seasoning. So we'll be right back once we add the potatoes. So now that I've added the potatoes, I'm going to go ahead with a little bit of salt, a little bit of the pepper, and then the Malibu seasoning. Right now, if you notice, I have the bell pepper, the onion, the potatoes, and the sausage. Now, this is pretty much a meal just right here by itself. Something that I would probably make for breakfast, or instead of the sausage or the potatoes, I would add zucchini and cheese. Okay, but let's get back to the seafood boil. So we're going to go ahead and let this cook for a couple more minutes. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of liquid after we add the Malibu seasoning, so we can let the potatoes start to cook down and get soft. I'm just adding a little seasoning now because with potatoes, there's no flavor to them. And I like my food to be not just cooked with love, but full of flavor as well. Now, this is going to be a seafood boil just for 2, but I'm going to make enough to where we're not fighting over the last lobster tail or the last piece of potato. You know, if we want to get 2 servings apiece, that'll work. I'm also going to make a salad on the side as well, okay? Alright, so I'm going to let this continue just to cook for a couple more minutes. We'll be back when it's time to add the rest of the ingredients. Alright, so now that we have the vegetables, the potatoes, and the sausage boiling, I'm going to go ahead now. I want to show you guys this. This is the Zatarain, the liquid smoke. If you notice, I have the cap right there. I don't even have a whole lot in that cap, just a little bit. You don't need that much. All this does is just enhance the seafood flavor. So I'm just going to pour a dab of that in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the corn. Now we're going to just let this sit down. I'm noticing, like I'm saying, I'm doing my own little personal review on this Copper Chef, and I'm noticing that I still got some room, but it is filling up pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for about 30 minutes or so, let the potatoes get done, and then we'll be back when it's time to add the seafood. So it's been a little over 30 minutes. The potatoes are tender. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add the bag of the mussels that are in garlic and butter sauce. And I'm just going to pour that whole thing inside. And I'm actually going to get a little water and put inside the bag because I want to get all of those little niblets of those, the butter and garlic sauce. I want that inside here as well, okay? So we'll be back shortly when it's time to add the lobster tails and the shrimp. So I went ahead and put a top on the lobster boil, and the next thing I'm going to do is show you a little different way I'm going to do the shrimp. I'm going to actually put some inside, but I don't want them to lose any of the length that it has already, and I'm just going to do a quick way and show you guys what I learned from another YouTuber that passed away, Auntie Fee. So this is probably one of the best ways I like to do my shrimp now. I'm just going to add them into this butter, and I'm going to, well, I've already butterflied them and deveined them. So I'm just going to add them in here. All right, and we're just going to add all of them in here. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was moving the camera. All right, so, and like I said, I'm still going to put some inside. Now, if you guys are interested in any more seafood videos, I recommend that you go check out Miss Ride or Die. She has a lot of seafood delights. That'll be Miss Ride or Die, MIZZRIDORDIE, okay? And she has a lot of seafood recipes on there that I thought were very interesting, so I wanted to turn some of you guys on to her if you don't already know who she is. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the Malibu seasoning. I'm going to take some of the green onions that I cut up, put them inside. I'm going to add a little lemon, and then we're going to let these cook until they get a nice little brown crisp on them. We'll be right back. Now that the shrimp is almost done, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of lime juice to it. And I'm going to go ahead now and check on my boil. And we're going to go ahead and add the lobster tails. Okay. If you notice, I went ahead and opened them, cleaned them, and deveined them. So now we're just going to add them all inside. And, alright, Copper Chef. I was able to put, I was able to add everything that I wanted without it overflowing, which is good. So, I do recommend getting a Copper Chef. I'm going to add some green onions on top. I'm going to go ahead now with some regular shrimp. Gonna add a little bit of lemon juice to that, and we'll be back shortly. So it's been a little over 45 minutes now, and we're gonna take the lid off, and everything looks done to me. I still have those shrimp inside this container. Now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and show you I have a plate that I just made up. I'm gonna put a little bit of green onions and fresh cilantro on top. Now I'm gonna take some of this shrimp that was cooked in the butter and garlic sauce and just add it on top with the rest of the shrimp that was inside of the lobster boil. I'm gonna go ahead now and add a little bit of acid to it, a little bit of lime juice, add a little bit of pepper just to make sure the corn has a little. And this is one way that I make my seafood boil. So I just wanted you guys to see this. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys would like to leave a comment at the bottom, I'll always make sure I give you a thumbs up and a heart. Until next time, you guys take it easy.